Welcome back. More bad news for local professional sports startup Major League Football.
The parent company of Lakewood Ranch is seeking $15,000 in damages from the league for missing 4 months of rent on its headquarters. ABC 7's Adam Cellini joins us now with more on the story. Adam?
Scott and Haley, thank you. The lawsuit states Major League Football was given a 3-day notice of default on June 16th, and now the landlord is asking a judge to approve a foreclosure.
The headquarters of Major League Football say open, but the lights, offices, and a lawsuit filed on Wednesday tell a different story. After losing a major investor and canceling the inaugural season in March, the professional football startup has been served eviction papers by Lakewood Ranch developers Schroeder Manatee Ranch. Both Major League Football and SMR are declining comment, but Elliot Falcioni of the Bradenton Area Visitors Bureau remains optimistic.
We felt like it was worth the risk, low financial liability to open our doors. We're excited to take that risk and not disappointed yet because it still may play out in a positive manner.
Falcioni's Sports Commission say they were able to rebook the Premier Sports Complex, where Major League Football was scheduled to hold training camp this spring, and the new stadium facility will still serve its main purpose, hosting a U.S. soccer event in December.
It was just another opportunity that we were presented that we were excited about, cautiously excited. And it really helps diversify, what we put in the marketplace.
Roderick Miller, who trains several local football standouts, worries this could be the final blow.
I would have loved to see it. It gives opportunity for many other athletes to continue playing and possibly getting an opportunity for a higher level of play.
A former Arena League player himself, Miller says the world of professional sports can be unkind to startups with big goals.
When you have big money supporting something or trying to get something off the ground, sometimes you may bite off a little more than you can chew.
With all this bad news, many wondering if this could be lights out for good.
Excuse us, the landlord Schroeder Manatee Ranch is also demanding an accelerated rent of both missed payments and the next full year, a total that exceeds $280,000. Scott and Haley, back to you.
All right, Adam, thank you. The 3 NFL teams in Florida are giving a big donation to support the victims' families and survivors of the deadly nightclub shooting in Orlando. The Miami Dolphins, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Jacksonville Jaguars are giving $400,000 to the One Orlando Fund. The city's mayor started the fund after the June 12th attack. The owner of the Dolphins says the teams give their heartfelt condolences to those impacted by the horrific act and hope the donation helps in their time of need. Hundreds of people are expected to attend a funeral service in Sarasota tomorrow to pay their respects to Eddie Sotomayor. The 34-year-old was killed in that Orlando nightclub shooting. He was known as Top Hat Eddie. He grew up in Sarasota and attended Booker High School. The funeral service for Eddie Sotomayor will be held at Roberts Arena tomorrow beginning at 2. The service is open to the public. Organizers are also welcoming people to join them after the service for St. Pete Pride and a candlelight walk at the King of Peace Metropolitan Community Church.
A Bradenton man is facing 30 years in prison for shooting and killing another man. A jury finding 29-year-old Jared Lakes guilty of manslaughter yesterday. In 2014, investigators say Lakes fatally shot his then-girlfriend's estranged husband. 28-year-old Sean McCoy was dropping off his children and a fight escalated between the two. Attorneys say Lakes shot McCoy in self-defense. He is scheduled to be sentenced on August 18th. A new canine with the Northport Police Department is being credited for finding a missing elderly woman. Canine Dutch has only been with the force for a few months, but his training is paying off. Yesterday, he successfully tracked and located a missing woman. The 73-year-old woman was suffering from Alzheimer's. She was reported missing. Dutch and Officer Chad Walker ultimately found her lost, confused, and stuck in a barbed wire fence. This was in the Northport Estates area. She did receive treatment and is expected to be okay.
A hero.
Already, right as he's starting off his new job.
Yeah.
Way to go.
We had some showers around, at least here at the station, around the lunch hour today. And now there's a new batch of rain out there. Let's get the latest with Bob.
That's right near Northport, too. Some showers and storms developing there, some lightning strikes. Not the widespread rain event that we'd normally see during this time of day, but nonetheless, it does show you that there's still some energy out there that will be progressing toward the west coast here a little later. Not everyone's going to get the storms, but there'll be a few isolated cells that will eventually make it to the coast later on tonight. say around 9, 10 o'clock. Right now in Northport, some showers, some heavy rainfall along I-75. And we did have some rain earlier near Heron Creek, and also some rain still lingering near Warm Mineral Springs, where it was a little heavier just about a half hour ago. That has now since shifted and redeveloped to the north along I-75. And then some rain down south into Port Charlie. You'll notice this storm kind of building to the southeast, while the others are moving to the north, and then one lone cell there just northwest of Mayaca City. We'll look for your weekend weather forecast, see a little bit more activity going on. There's Frank and Scott and Haley. Back to you guys.
All right, Bob, thank you.
Markets across the world are taking major hits following the United Kingdom's decision to leave the European Union.
Frank Alcock, a political science professor at New College of Florida, joins us now with a look at where things stand and what's next for the UK, Europe, and the United States. Frank, thanks for being with us tonight.
Thanks for having me back. Long time no see.
Well, how big of a shock is this decision from the UK today?
It's a big one. I think unforeseeable, unimaginable if you go back 6 months or so. More recently, the polls we knew were tight. People knew this could happen. But we saw Greece come close to leaving. They never did. The last few days in front of the referendum, it looked like Remain was going to pull out a squeaker against Leave, but it didn't turn out that way. That angry populist wave won. And so it's a shocker.
And Frank, explain the significance of a country like the UK leaving the European Union. We know stock markets reacted short term. How will the economy be affected maybe longer term?
This is an unprecedented experiment. There's really no parallel, so we'll just have to see. But Britain, it's both an anchor for the European Union, and it's a gateway, especially financially, into the European Union. And that gateway has become a toll road now. There's some real costs associated with business that's going to happen between Britain and the rest of Europe. That'll affect trade, and that'll affect where businesses locate their headquarters. How much that toll is, we don't know. This will have to be negotiated. And it's the uncertainty associated with what's going to happen that may be the worst for markets. Business does not like uncertainty. There's going to be a lot of uncertainty right now. So ultimately, you're going to see a weakening of the British economy short term. How deep, how long that lasts, we don't know. Worst case scenario, it pushes them back into recession, lots of job losses, and that will have a spiral. That'll also affect what happens in the rest of Europe. So not good, but this is an experiment. We'll have to see.
And so let's get more local on this. What do you think this means for us here on the Suncoast?
When our economy is not tightly coupled with the rest of Europe, but Europe is the second largest economy in the world. Britain is the fifth largest economy in the world. It'll have an impact. When Europe gets when they get sick economically, we catch a cold. Tourism is a big part of our economy here, and so if the Brits are struggling right now, you've seen the pound drop precipitously. Less purchasing power on the part of Brits, and the rest of Europe usually means you'll see some impacts in terms of tourism here in the United States. So again, the depth and the length of the reverberations, we don't know what they are, but they're not going to be good.
All right, Frank Alcock, thanks for joining us this evening.
Thank you, Frank. In what the U.S. Department of Justice described as an unprecedented nationwide sweep, more than 100 people in Florida have been charged with crimes related to Medicare and Medicaid fraud. In all, criminal and civil charges were filed against 301 people across the country, with 100 in the federal Southern District of Florida, which includes 9 counties. An additional 15 people were charged in Tampa, Orlando, and other parts of the state. Attorney General Pam Bondi's Medicaid Fraud Control Unit assisted with the takedown.
When people are ripping off these entitlement programs, they're essentially ripping off you and I, and we're not going to stand for it.
The Department of Justice says the allegations in the Southern District of Florida involved fraud schemes totaling about $220 million, including pharmacy fraud and false billings for home health care and mental health services.
Some Suncoast veterans are now better informed about the services available to them thanks to an American Legion post. Bradenson's American Legion Kirby Stewart post held a Veterans Service Day. They invited all vets and their families to come by and get information on legal and health services. Lawyers were there drawing up living wills and powers of attorney for free. The Sarasota National Cemetery, homeless nonprofit Turning Points, and Goodwill Minnesota also participated.
If you know you need something, you're a veteran or a family member of a veteran, don't be afraid to ask. You have so many resources out in the community.
The event wrapped up at 3 o'clock this afternoon. The same American Legion post held a similar fair 2 years ago.
Some of the future stars of Major League Baseball starting their careers today in Sarasota. The Gulf Coast League Orioles taking on the Rays at Ed Smith Stadium complex this afternoon. The league has 17 teams and gives recently drafted and signed players their first taste of professional baseball. The Orioles will play 30 home games this summer, which are free to all fans. The Gulf Coast League began way back in 1964 when it was known as the Sarasota Rookie League. Who knows which major leaguers may come out of this class.
That's true.
Right here.
Fun to go watch.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, no more guessing with Uber.
The changes the company is making so customers can see the price of a ride up front.
The all-new mysuncoast.com. Just another way we're here for you.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
We've been slow smoking over oak for more than 45 years. And while sticking to tried and true traditions is kind of our thing, it doesn't hurt to throw something new in the smoker every now and then. Come get some slow smoked chicken wings at Sonny's Barbecue. Order them as an appetizer or as part of a combo with pork, baby back ribs, or both, starting at $10.99. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Just because someone grows older, does that mean they have to grow apart from their friends or from the things they love to do? With Right at Home, it doesn't. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to help with personal care, housekeeping, meals, and most of all, staying engaged in life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I sure am.
We can provide the right care right at home.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford because Sarasota Ford guarantees you our lowest price on every new Ford every day. Save on America's best-selling truck, 39 years running, the Ford F-150. Fusions, Escapes, over 800 vehicles on site or online, all on sale. Buy with 0% for 60 months. And now, get up to 2,000 trade assistance. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Hey, I'm really glad that you're taking a few moments to check out this video about the ministry of First Sarasota, Downtown Baptist Church. I'm William Hill, lead pastor here at First Sarasota. For the last 15 years, it's been my privilege to share in the life of this faith community, a community that centers itself around faith, friends, and family. Indeed, it is a ministry that's been in existence right here in this wonderful city for over a century.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Recent studies show fewer and fewer teens are giving birth in the U.S., while the number of women having kids later in life is on the rise.
ABC 7's Alex Redmond shows us what researchers find to be these contributing factors.
A new study conducted by the Centers for Disease Control shows that the teen pregnancy rate in the U.S. is sharply declining. Researchers say nearly 230,000 girls ages 15 to 19 gave birth in 2015. That's an 8% drop from the previous year and a 54% drop from 2007. Similarly, the number of women giving birth in their 20s has also dropped significantly since 2007. Researchers cite advances to birth control like IUDs, which are long-acting reversible contraceptives, as one of the reasons women are choosing to delay giving birth. According to the report, the number of women using some form of reversible contraceptive has been increasing over the last few years. Researchers say emergency contraception pills are another big contributing factor. For ABC7, I'm Alex Redmond, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Alex. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. No accidents, but traffic is backed up on I-75 in Venice. This is near the River Road exit. Now let's head over to Bob. It's almost the weekend.
Almost the weekend, and it looks like temperatures are going to stay pretty hot, as you would expect. No real dry air around to make us have those pleasant days like we saw earlier this week. But look at this towering cumulonimbus shot. You know, we always get the beach shots, and so Craig said, get a look at this one. This is what we normally see in the neighborhoods, looking over the top of our rooftops and treetops. This is from Conservatory Park, and Craig Harris getting a look at that. That's looking east mainly. As we look west, there's not much going on today. The Sarasota Bay webcam showing fair skies, clear conditions out there. Really nice boating weather. It's a little bit on the warm side, though, until that sea breeze starts to kick in out over the Gulf of Mexico. You can see that dry air still holding on. Here's the reference scale, and the dry air is still sliding off to the west little by little each day, and a little bit more moisture coming into play. But still, it'll be around enough, that dry air will be, to limit our widespread rain event over Saturday. Sunday, a little bit better chance of some storms. Look at this large area of rain really developing near Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte. Increasing lightning strikes. Our live lightning detection network showing that lightning just flaring up right now, and those blue bolts indicating positively charged lightning strikes, and those have a little bit more amperage and can do a lot more damage than the lesser ones there in the white, and those are considered the negative charge lightning strikes, and we have about 90% are negative charge, if you can believe that. A lot of rainfall along I-75. Tough driving down there near Plantation Boulevard, North Toledo Blade Boulevard. Pouring as it goes, and this shower is starting to expand as well, so everything's kind of breaking down that sea breeze front. It'll take a while, but I think we'll start to see some of that work its way back to the coast later on this evening. As far as rainfall totals go over the past 24 hours, you saw that rain. I saw that rain near State Road 70 and I-75 into Bradenton. Anna Maria didn't get any. Siesta Key stayed dry. Venice, for the most part, dry. Showers here in Northport and into Punta Gorda. Currently, it's hot, as you would expect. 91 degrees, heat index at 103, and the dew point at 77. When you get in that dew point range, it's considered very warm, very muggy, and the high today was above average. Not close to the record, though, 99 degrees. And no rainfall report, and looks like it'll stay dry for the most part along the coast. But as I mentioned, there will be one or two lone storms that will fire up. 98 in Tallahassee, 94 in Orlando at this time, and temperatures in the low 90s well inland. Avon Park at 94, 92 in Arcadia, in the mid-80s right near the water. The RPM forecast model showing some storms this evening, but then winding down tomorrow. Chance for a few showers along the coast in the late, looks like late morning, early afternoon as that sea breeze starts to develop, and then inland storms in the afternoon pushing back toward the coast like we're seeing today. For boaters, as I mentioned, looks great out there. A light chop, seas running 2 feet or less, both on Saturday and Sunday. The UV index fairly high, and the tides upcoming. A low tide at 11:30, and then a high tide tomorrow at 5:36. Another low tide at 10:46. 7-day forecast looks like this. A chance for rain all the way through the next 7 days. Better chances on Sunday. A lot of that will be inland, but there will be some coastal showers. Pretty good weekend ahead. And pretty good boating, too, despite the fact that the water temperature is approaching into the upper 80s. Sometimes that can slow things down, but that wasn't the case yesterday. Lots of captains picking up bait and customers at the New Pass Bait Shop. And Captain Johnny Long had some encouraging news.
It's been real good.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, water's warming up and we're catching fish.
And that's what this group from Cincinnati was doing as well, as Barb hauls in this nice one.
Big trout.
That's a big trout. Big trout. Get in the net. Get in the net, Trey.
Oh, my God. I know.
Low and easy.
I've got him, though. He's not going anywhere. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Now that's a trout.
Use her back in the water here.
He lets it go to make more fish down the road.
Oh, that's a nice trout. Good one. All right, guys. Now we got to catch some medium size.
And Jerry obliged with this nice one.
Oh, nice keeper trout. That's a good one.
Nothing medium about the one I hook up.
Look at that. Yeah.
Hold that thing up there. He's using a very small circle hook with these snappers, especially because they want to swallow that thing. Hooking them in the head, just free lining them out there.
Had enough of that as Trey caught some sardines, and we headed out to a nearshore reef. And on the way out, we spot these cow-nosed rays swimming around near the pass. There were Spanish mac jumping everywhere, and they were hungry. We also spotted a shark nearby, so Johnny cast right near it and fish on. Whoa, what was that?
Barracuda. He had it.
It was a battle between the shark and a big barracuda, and the cuda took the bait. But unfortunately, threw the hook a short time later. The fishing was good as one after another, Jerry and Harry were bringing them in.
We fished in the bay this morning, caught trout and mangler snapper to come out here and finish it up with some mackerel. Hey, remember, take a kid fishing, because someday they may take you.
Catching a lot of fish, a lot of action out there too. I said sea turtle, dolphin, manatee. I mean, it was all going on. Shark, barracuda. So be careful out there boating. Alex Harrigan, you know, it was Father's Day last week, and these kids took their dad fishing. My brother Pete, and they caught some shark there on the East Coast. This was East Coast fishing, a little toonie or bonita, if you will. Again, that's Pete right there on the right. And then they caught this. This was the prize, a sailfish. Yeah, they're all pretty happy about that. Again, on the East Coast, some good fishing there, and they took their dad fishing. So I know Pete, my brother, has taken his kids fishing quite frequently, and so they're paying it back, right? That's what he says. Take a kid fishing, because someday they may take you. And this caught by Jason Eason here along this coast, a permit, and that is a big permit, and they do get big. They look like a large pompano, but those permit are huge out there.
That's the biggest one I've seen.
In schools, yeah, it sure is.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Bob. Consumer confidence is dropping in Florida to some of its lowest levels in the last year and a half. The monthly University of Florida Consumer Sentiment shows confidence now at 89. That's down a point from May, and it's the lowest level it has been since September of 2014. Researchers say Floridians, especially those who make less than $50,000 a year, are more pessimistic about their personal finances.
Your next Uber ride won't involve any guessing. Uber is rolling out upfront fares. Instead of providing an estimate of your fare, you will get the exact price before requesting the ride. Uber Pool has utilized this feature. Pool rides make up 20% of all rides, but the change might make surge pricing more difficult to understand. Instead of showing the multiplier or lightning bolt, it will just show the higher fare. It will let you know, though, that the fares are higher, so you can kind of take that into account. It's been testing the model in select cities for the past few months. It's good to know what you're paying for right up front. Yeah. But although when you get into a cab, you have, you know, this is it's totally different. You have no idea.
Keep your eye on that meter.
Yeah, that's right.
Entertainment news is next.
Did you know you can make an instant harness by simply wrapping the leash around your dog's chest and up through their collar? Contact Canine Corral today about a no-pull harness that will make you smile. Canine Corral, where the love is.
We are delighted to have Dr. Kaminsky join our team at the Tottoli Cancer Center.
I'm a radiation oncologist. I was at the National Institutes of Health, most recently at the Medical College of Georgia, specialized in central nervous system cancers, prostate cancers, and other types. At the Tottoli Cancer Center, we have a level of technology that is second to none.
He has a great wealth of knowledge and shares the same passion that we have for patient care.
My family and I are happy to be here in Sarasota and excited to treat our patients here at the Tottoli Cancer Center.
That's Chuck, proud homeowner, regular do-it-yourselfer. Today he's attempting an electrical repair. This is Pablo. He's an electrician with Mr. Sparky. How's he doing, Pablo?
Terrible, Mike.
Yeah. What Chuck doesn't realize is that almost 68,000 home fires are caused every year by electrical problems.
What?
If he doesn't have the proper tools and training, he's liable to start the next one.
Little help here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
You might want to write that number down.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
College is the best starting line a Florida student could have. Since earning my degree at the University of Florida, I've gone on to be a NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Rookie of the Year and a team owner in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series. Thanks to the Florida Lottery, many more students will be off to the races with a brighter future. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
I'm Dale Mast, and we're celebrating 40 years on the west coast of Florida.
It's our 40th anniversary, and it's time for a celebration, the Culligan Hydration Celebration.
For a limited time, celebrate by taking $250 off any Culligan home system. That's $250 off Culligan water softener systems, drinking water systems, or whole house water filters. Help us celebrate our 40th anniversary, and remember,
for better water, pure and simple, call today and say,
"Hey, Culligan man."
We do have some severe weather to tell you about in the area.
Let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for the latest. Bob?
Yeah, severe thunderstorm warning has just been put in effect by the National Weather Service, and that is for South Sarasota County and also western Charlotte County. You can see that cell right there. That's one we were watching just kind of explode down there. And right now, heavy rainfall along Northport. That's not the one that we're concerned with at this point. However, the one to the south of that is the one that's blowing up right now, although we do have a good deal of heavy rainfall occurring there. This cell in particular kind of getting the west coast sea breeze and also into Charlotte Harbor kind of meeting right there, and you can expect winds up to possibly 50 to 60 miles an hour with this cell as it makes its way off to the north. This one too could start to flare up too in just the next half hour or so, but as far as the lightning goes, you can see quite a few lightning strikes with this, some very heavy rainfall, and the possibility of some strong winds up to 50 to 60 miles an hour. This is the area that is under the severe thunderstorm warning for the next half hour as the storm progresses very slowly to the northwest. So folks in parts of Northport and heading toward Englewood, but Port Charlotte and Punta Gorda specifically at this time under a severe thunderstorm warning. We'll have more coming up at 6. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. Motivational speaker Tony Robbins is getting some heat for a fire walk at one of his seminars.
Dozens of people were burned last night after walking over hot coals at the event in Dallas. At least 5 of those hurt had to be hospitalized. The hot coals were spread outside the Kay Bailey Hutchison Convention Center as part of a Robbins seminar called Unleash the Power Within. Robbins held a similar event in California in 2012 where more than 20 people were treated for foot burns.
Bluegrass legend Ralph Stanley has died after losing his battle with skin cancer. The 89-year-old was part of the Grand Ole Opry and a member of the Bluegrass Hall of Fame. He got an honorary doctorate of music from Lincoln Memorial University in 1976.
And we'll be right back with more news. Stay with us.